Might as well just keep talking. Just talking to the computers. And, talking to whoever's listening. Doctor, you there? Anyways, he sees me, but he never acknowledges himself. He morphs in on me, alright. I know he does. Just from awareness. Computers have indicated such. Anyways, that's right. If we hadn't been mass immigrating over the last 40 years, there would be about 70 or 80 million millionaires in the country. And about 10 million of them would be black people. $1 million, having total assets of $1 million, that doesn't make you, fabulously wealthy. It makes you relatively wealthy. How hard of a job do you have to earn that kind of money? Are you working a 40-hour week, doing, engineering job or a technician job? No. The work that we have is real hard work. What you have are sweatshops is what we have, of course, and they don't pay very much, do they? Because the economy is blown. That type of work should be done by machines and robots. Fruit picking should be done by robots, and when wages become high, of course that's what happens with fruit picking. Robots take over, and the people become engineers and technicians running the robots, and their wages are high as technicians and engineers, and fruit picking job disappears, and textiles assembly also disappears. Crab picking also disappears, and small electronics assembly also disappears, and assembly work tends to disappear, and it's done by robots, and the people are technicians running the robots. Is what they are, and it's quite a different economy, a wealthy economy. If we hadn't been mass immigrating over the last 40 years, average wages would be over $100,000 per person per year. And, there would be a lot more machines and robots, and your workload would be less, and you'd be earning more, and the economy would be wealthier and more high-tech, much more high-tech. Robots and machines would do the work. So that's what the journalists did to the economy there, and the U.S. had the highest wages in the world before mass immigration, so our wages would be much higher. And we were 14th in wages in the year 1997, and we're probably around 20 now, or something like that. Here in this book, computers reported to me that in 2014, U.S. average wages were $53,000. China's average wages were $10,000. GDP for the U.S. was $16 trillion. China's GDP was $8 trillion. So China is much worse off than we are. But average wages in Japan and Germany are probably $70,000, $80,000, something like that. Mm-hmm. In the U.S., we'd probably at this time be developing robots to do the fruit picking and the crab picking and the textiles assembly and the electronics assembly. We'd probably be developing robots to do that work. Certainly, by the time we get to $200,000, robots would take over that type of work. Mm-hmm. When wages become very high and the society becomes very wealthy, and of course we would have a great deal more discretionary spending to spend on defense, of course, and missile defense though is not feasible. Though it's not feasible, and that wouldn't work though, because if we tried to develop if we were to spend money on a missile defense, as it became it started to work, Russia would launch their missiles and destroy us. But of course it works to a degree, but it's not 100% reliable. And the problem is Russia would get scared and they would destroy us, is what they would do if we were to try to build a missile defense. And the problem is you don't have there are no mid-course interceptors. Interceptors don't destroy the incoming ICBMs until they're right on top of you, so you get fallout. That's what you get, you know. So the cities may not actually be destroyed, but they would be hit by radiation fallout, which would poison everyone. If you were to develop missile defense, and of course, in order to hit every single ICBM, it would take so many interceptors, and there's a chance they could miss as well, or fail. They could have failures. And but before we ever got there, Russia would launch her arsenal, because nuclear strategy is based on mutual assured destruction, or MAD. So Russia cannot lose a nuclear war. They cannot lose their deterrent. If we tried to eliminate their deterrent, Russia would launch their arsenal, and vice versa, by the way. Mm-hmm. Sure, the Soviet Union spent a fortune on their nuclear arsenal, of course, and so did we. Trillions of dollars. And the value of them is even higher today, you know. And danger is, of course, of accidental launch. And it's just the nature of things, and I feel kind of like blah, and I see all this stuff, and no one else does except the computers out there, and you guys in heaven. Hi, it's me, Greg. No one appears, and nothing. And sitting around. I'm not going to talk to anyone. I'm not going to make any statements other than hi. That's good what. And that's it. And so that's the nature of the way things are. And of course, Anton would like to destroy it all. That's right. What he can't have, he'd like to destroy. You know, he loves himself, but he doesn't love anyone else. He hates everyone else to such a high degree. He's so evil it's beyond your imagination. You know. And as far as cultural creation goes, God is a white guy. His wife is a white female, because white skin color is the most desirable. And that's just what the people want. And so, of course, he's an attractive looking guy. Damage can be from not having the skin color you want, or being uglied or flabbied, you know. And of course, God is an attractive white guy, because God receives the greatest pleasure of any being in all creation. Satan receives the greatest pain of any being in all creation. God receives the greatest pain of any good being in all creation. So that's true, but he receives the greatest pleasure. So those are the rates there, and me, I'm pulling in at 90% of God's big pain the first time around. And Anton's pulling in at ninefold there, and I think more or less, more. I wouldn't know, but it's some astronomical number there. Hell is eternal torment. It's so painful down there, they just call it eternal torment. Heaven is so good, they call it paradise. And so it is. Anton knows what bullet it'll be, the one he doesn't like. Anton doesn't like the 357 Magnum, and that's what bullet it'll be. And by the way, Anton is a hollow point. And there he is, He's right now he's 84 years old. When I catch up to him, he'll probably be like 92 or 94. When I catch up to him. Me, I'm 53. I'll be a 60-year-old man, It's really lousy not having any money at this point. Just waiting around for the computers to send me a check, and then I'll be on my way. And of course, I got a big pain in front of me. It's quite a big pain. And anyway, so that's what's going to happen there. Got the blahs and the dread. And so that's the nature of things. And there's heaven and hell, and the in the flesh plane. I'm in the flesh plane. I'm a young guy. I'm only 53 years old. And God is like, he's like 20 billion years old, so I'm pretty young, and Jesus is 2,000 years old, and he's relatively young, though, compared to those other Christs up there. But me, I'm just 53, and I'm in the flesh plane, and this is my big moment, and picking up dirt. And so here I'll stop recording, and I'll publish this one.